Hello, and I do hope you're having a fun, festive season so far. If you're watching in the future, this means nothing, but right now it's Christmas Eve, so I hope all is well. In this video, we are going to do a pick a card reading, like we always do, this time from the Muse Tarot, and we're going to do some more cards from the Moonology deck to give a bit more meaning, a bit more depth, and you can never have enough meaning and depth to these things. That is very much what I reckon. Okay, so here are, if I can just, oh gosh, fingers everywhere today. Anyone would think I've been having a Christmas drink, but I haven't, I promise you. Right, so card 1, card 2, card 3, card 4, and card 5 here. Which one of those jumps out at you, or which number in numerology appeals to you? It's entirely up to you. You can pick 1, 2, 3, 4, all of them, and I strongly recommend picking all of them if that's the way you are inclined. And of course, for each card, there is going to be a Moonology card as well. So you can pick any card. You can just pick the Oracle ones if you like, pick the Tarot ones, pick both, whatever. You know, your inner psychic is very much to be trusted, and I really strongly trust people's inner psychic abilities because we have actually all got them. But when people suddenly become aware of it, that makes a huge difference. Of course it does, and that's where people start learning about it. But we've all got that inner psychic ability. We really have. And if you think about it, friends, I'm sure you will have experienced, where is it? Something along those lines. Okay, I'm going to cheat and use the Muse Tarot book for this. Okay, because that's just the way the Muse Tarot seems to operate and seems to be. And card number 1 is this one. It is the Empress. There she is. All that joy of nature, which is a little bit hidden at the moment, isn't it? Because we're in winter, at least in the northern hemisphere. And if you're sunning yourself in the southern hemisphere, good for you. We'll be doing that in a few months' time. It's never very long before the light starts coming back in and the weather starts getting warmer. It's not getting warmer yet here in Merlin's Mountain in UK, but you know, I'm sure it will soon because we are past the solstice. We are well and truly into Yuletide. So here is the Empress with all that natural meaning going on. This is about nurturing energy, really. It's about, you know, mothering love from the universe. And in astrology today, the goddess energy is very strongly indicated. If you saw my short today, you will know all about that. And do check out my channel, by the way. Hit the subscribe button and check out the channel because more videos coming all the time. And I've had some success with it. I think I've got videos out about 4 days in a row at this point, which is almost unheard of. Watch me crash and burn. No, don't. It's going to be good. It's going to be really good. Okay, so nature energy here, really. This is all about, you know, the creator around us gives us all this low-hanging fruit, and a lot of the time we don't notice it. We're not really aware of it, but it's there, friends. Just look out for those positive, fruitful opportunities and make sure you eat that fruit because it's good for you. It really is that spiritual fruit. There is a little poem in the book about all these cards. Each card has its own little sort of couplet, just a couple of lines, and this is what it says for the Empress. All the creative and all the dreams, bubbles and musings from earth, life full of creation, she flows from the seams, spillings and brewings of birth. Brewings of birth. What are you going to give birth to? If you pick that card, friends, something good is coming very soon to you. I'm absolutely sure. That's card number 1. So let us take a look at what the first Moonology card is in this situation. To go with the Empress, we have full moon in Libra. A win-win just checking. A win-win outcome is forecast. So that's pretty good. We've got all the birthing of new ideas, energy coming from the Empress, and a win-win outcome. You couldn't ask for much more than that. So positive, so positive. I love it when we get positive messages through the cards. There's never any real negativity. You know, the tarot is a thing that's divinely put there and created to actually help us through this crazy life. But, you know, if there's bad news, I don't hold it back. You know, sometimes bad news comes in for a reason. But this looks very good news indeed to me. So let's pop the Empress to one side and that Moonology card. And let's move on, friends, to card number 2. And this one really is in tune with the energy of the moment in lots of ways. It is the Devil card, number 15 in the Major Arcana. And by the way, the Empress is number 3, as you probably know. But hey, no point in saying it again. We've got the Devil card here. And we are actually seeing some positive energy up in this sky there. We've got these plumes of fire, plumes of light suggesting things are going to happen, things are going to get done. But the character looks a little bit concerned, in fact, quite a lot concerned. But that really is the nature of the Devil card. And it keys into the nature of this earth, because this world is full of stuff that may or may not be going wrong, but has something to teach us. That's always the way. And what we have to look out for if we drew this card is addiction, bondage, being manipulated, maybe feeling stuck in the confines of your own story. You know, maybe it's time to look outside of yourself and of your own world a little bit. I think we all do that at Yuletide, at the festive season, at Christmas, Thanksgiving. That's the way it is, really. We do tend to think of others, and that is a wonderful thing. And that's what this card is really talking about, you know, not just thinking of others, but thinking of maybe, you know, reinventing yourself, inventing another life, because it's kind of time to go would be a good way to describe the energy of this card. Maybe you're sort of needing to loosen up a bit. Maybe you should have some fun. Maybe you should free yourself. And that is where it ties in to the magic of Christmas, which is a wonderful thing. And the couplet to go with this card from the book, it says, "Who is the devil but my own choice? A capture and her strings. Who is the devil but my own voice? The one who never sings." Interesting. Well, if you're the one who never sings, get out there and sing your song, friends. That is what it's all about. And what does the Moonology deck have to say about the Devil card? It says, a time to give rather than take. And this is new moon in Virgo. Now, at the moment, we've got new moon in Capricorn pretty much happening. If you're watching this on the day, that is the, you know, the astrological energy around what's happening. So it is time for a new start. It is time to make a new difference. And because this is a full moon in Libra card, it isn't full moon in Libra right now, but the card certainly is. Time for bringing new things into being and keeping those new things in balance. And that so nicely goes with the energy of the Devil card and the meaning of the Devil card. You know, in the traditional tarot, the devil is kind of pointing the characters to move on, to get things happening. The devil is in the details. So play devil's advocate with yourself and make that new start. A time to give rather than take. That is so important, actually. And that is where the energy of the Devil card sort of differs from the whole idea of, you know, El Diablo and demonic things, which we don't really want to think about. Beautiful green healing light around this lady as well. So there is card number 2 and card number 7, I think. So whatever, you know what I'm talking about. So it's the middle of the reading, and this card, the central card, card number 3 of 5, is the 9 of Materials. That is essentially, friends, the 9 of Pentacles. Everything has been taken over and changed a little bit in this book. The 9 of Pentacles, it's always when it comes up, it's always a good time to look back over the progress you've made, and you will have made some progress, whether you know it or not. Look back over that progress and just ask yourself, have you left something important behind you? Have you left someone important behind you? Really, really well worth thinking about, because when we go on from the 9 of Pentacles to the 10 of Pentacles, and we get that sense of completion, you know, things start to become set in stone, but nothing is completely set in stone yet. The concrete is still really drying. And the other meanings of this card, really, it emanates the vibration of success. You know, things really, they might not feel as if they're going terribly well, but look for the blessings. Count your blessings if you're not aware of things going well, because on some level they are. You may very well be aware of how well things are going. We've got some beautiful roses in this card as well, which for me is always a symbol of the afterlife. You know, people we've lost to the spirit world. It's a reminder that they're all around us. It's a reminder that they're looking after us in the best way they possibly can. So we've got the vibration of success, self-made wealth, independence, enjoying time alone. the fruit of your labour, security and comfort, lavishness, contentment, sophistication, status and prosperity, all indicated in this card. So that's got to be good stuff. And it also says in the book, the brim of joy. Right, things are just coming up to a really good situation if you drew this card. And, you know, we all go through difficulties. Gosh, you know, some friends of mine are having a unexpectedly difficult Christmas. And please, friends, if you wouldn't mind, send some healing thoughts to Ronald, whose beautiful little dog, Hetty, passed away. She's a lovely dog, actually. I'm so sorry about that. And let me see, Miranda and Tara Louise, both really very ill at the moment. They've got COVID. They're strong. They'll bounce back, but they're just having a not very nice time. So send them some healing. I certainly have been. It's bound to help. Got too many people to mention, really, seem to be going through it at the moment, but we are close to Mercury retrograde, and that is the time when these difficult things start coming into being. Cindy, Phil, send me your thoughts. Too many people to mention, really, and I don't want to leave anybody out, so I'll just shut up at that point. But anyway, the couplet that goes with the Nine of Pentacles, showing that things are going to turn a corner for all of us, actually, especially if you picked this card. And if you picked all 5 cards, this is what the reading really hinges on. And the couplet in the book says, "Come dance with me in my field full of flowers. I will gift you my infinite love. Come radiate here your essential being, and be showered with me from above." Beautiful sentiment. 9 of Pentacles, very, very positive card there. Very positive indeed. And what has the Moonology deck to say about that one? Let us find out. 2 cards stuck together. Let's separate them a bit. Show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius. So we're looking at, you know, completion again, which goes so nicely with the 9 of Pentacles. Really it does. But show the world the real you. That's what's important to do. And that really relates to what I was saying at the beginning of the 9 of Pentacles, that it's so important to just think back and make sure you haven't left anything important behind. You haven't left anyone important behind. Just let things keep moving. Keep moving, you know, as well as you can, really. It's not always easy to keep moving, that's why I say that, but purple, the ultimate healing colour here. And if you're going through any kind of CRAP at the moment, as I'm sure a lot of us are, it's the nature of life, isn't it? Then, you know, the 9th ray, the violet flame, overseen by Saint Germain, will be all around you. If only you call it in. You've got to make the effort to call it in, but just call on the violet flame. Put the violet flame around yourself or around anyone who you feel needs help, and, you know, Saint Germain will be on the case, and the healing will most definitely come. But show the world the real you. And that means not just the you that you kind of think you want to be, but the real you that you are. Okay, because it's important to acknowledge what we are, what we're made of. If we don't acknowledge that, it's like, if you don't really know what you're made of, how do you know what you're going to really succeed at in life? If you're wondering about that thing in particular, do give me a shout, and we will arrange to do an astrological birth chart for you for a small fee, I'm afraid, but it's what I do for a living. Do drop me an email, 35and83@gmail.com. It is down there in the description, 35and83@gmail.com. I could actually whistle you out a birth chart in time for Christmas. Fast 24-hour service, you see. That is what I do. So a good last-minute Christmas present. If you want to get something without having to rush to the shops, no bad thing. Anyway, there we have the 9 of materials, the 9 of Pentacles. Moving on rather futuristically now into card number 4, which is the Page of Voices. And that is to say, the Page of Swords in the more traditional tarot. But the Page of Voices it is. And there's a lot of curiosity. Excuse me. There's a lot of curiosity here. Look how curious this person is. It's about curious, intelligent things, really. You know, the more curious we are, the more we learn, and the more that adds to our intelligence. So if you drew this card, then you're probably looking around yourself, looking for meaning in things, and looking for a way forward. And a way forward will come and you will have much more success going forward, actually. If you're curious, if you look around at what's going on, restless energy about this too, and a thirst for knowledge is indicated here. Restlessness doesn't sound great, does it? But that's what really gets us moving. That's what really gets things happening. So it is no bad thing, really. Essentially, if you drew this card, you're in student mode and you need to align your actions with your words. That's really what's going on here. Lots of curiosity and yeah, more positive than it seems, I think. You know, we can be stuck in the doldrums when we're going through a time of curiosity, but what we learn from that curiosity is really going to make a positive difference. The book says about this in its couplet, its little poem: I collect my mixture of spinning thoughts and I begin to pull them down to earth. I think, I am, I know, so speak. Oh, how I speak myself into existence. Speak yourself into existence. Very good way of looking at life. Very good kind of positive view of things, that. But this is it, you know, words have a real power of magic. And this is why, if you've ever seen the film Monty Python's Life of Brian, there's a joke about something that really used to happen. People could be stoned to death for saying the word of God, which Yahweh comes from. It's called the Tetragrammaton. It's YHVH, so that you could kind of say those letters, or Yahweh, which is kind of what they spell, without actually mentioning the name of God. And the reason that was illegal in those times, and the reason we should still have a care about how much we use that word, is very simply that the meaning is meant to be hidden. It's a journey of life to try and understand these things. And also words do have a power, particularly consonant sounds. They all have a power, a magical power. So when you speak your truth, when you speak your words, you're really in tune with that magic and you're really making that magic happen. So what have we got to go with the two of voices? We've got a void of course moon here. Nothing will come of this situation. And that is not as empty as it sounds, friends, not by a very long way. Because although nothing comes of this situation now, you don't sort of get anywhere when you're sitting around contemplating your navel and just being curious about things. What you learn from that curiosity is what's going to take you forward. So something will come of future situations because of that. But you can relax at the moment because the Moonology card says nothing will come of this situation. And it is representing a void of course moon, which we haven't got at the moment, but it's in the card. And when we have a void of course moon, it's kind of no great shakes when we do astrological predictions. A void of course moon just means kind of, you know, I don't know, catch up with emails or, you know, something, but don't do anything that attracts any new action. And so as you're musing, as you're working out what is to come, where you want to go, where you want to be as you go forward, then, you know, it's a void of course. There's no need to actually go out and start doing things. Just use this time to contemplate, to make sense of what's going on around you and what's happening in your world. And so we come to card number 5, the outcome card if you picked all 5. And it is this one. It's the Ace of Inspiration. In other words, friends, it's the Ace of Wands. And aces really are high when it comes to the wands, because the wands are the suit of getting things done and making things happen. And this is pointing the way forward for all of us who drew this card today. It's about positive new beginnings, fresh inspirations, sparks. You know, those sparks of light that spark something off and get something happening. We've all got that inner divine spark in ourselves, and it does expand, you know, when we meditate on it and focus on it. So do some meditation in that direction, whatever you do. If you drew this card, in fact, do it whatever card you pulled, because it's always good. But in this case, it's about opportunities, new cycles of manifestation, the beginning of hopes and dreams, creative downloads as well. You might have that buzzing sound in your ear, which seems like tinnitus but isn't, as you're kind of downloading new divine information. And we don't always know what that information is when it comes in, but that's the bottom line. You know, it's superhuman inspiration. It's superhuman knowledge that's coming in. It's more than we can handle, but it can sit there in the subconscious mind, in the higher self, and come out bit by bit when it's needed, and then we'll understand it. So, all you've got to really do is take it in at the moment, and, it will give you some superhuman abilities going forward, which is wonderful. I don't mean turning into Spider-Man, but hey, maybe that's what will happen. You never know. It is Yuletide. It is Christmas after all, so why not? Pushing through blocks really as well, that's important, and you get some illumination behind your ideas, and you're probably going to be quite passionate about your ideas if you drew this card. And the couplet about this one is, speak to me in sun and flame, creative fervour, bless my name, and where you pray I will be there, sprung from an inspiration prayer. Sprung from an inspiration prayer. Okay, well, I really like the sound of that. I always like the sound of these cards. They're so good. They really are. Moonology cards, which are equally wonderful. Full moon in Taurus, your dreams need a practical plan. And that really is the value of the Ace of Wands. That practical plan is very much needed. And the value of it is that it will be supported. The universe will not just have your back, but it'll take you by the hand and pull you forward. So if you drew this card, or if you drew these two together, Ace of Inspiration and Full Moon in Taurus, think about that practical planning aspect. Dreams are wonderful, but they come to us in our dream world, basically, and we have to somehow make them real in this world. And I honestly think the dream world is much more real than the everyday physical world. But the bottom line is, this crazy physical world we live in, it's a spiritual test, it's a spiritual school, really, I suppose. So it's important to make things happen in real life, in reality. It's important to get things moving. And there we are, friends. We have come to the end of another one. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you got something out of that. Please do drop me a comment. Let me know which card you picked. Let me know what it meant to you. It's always good, and it helps our spirit guides get zeroed in to one another. Our guides are working together if you've come to this channel and found it and started watching. That really is how it goes. It's a small channel, so please subscribe if you haven't already. Makes a world of difference. Drop me a like on this one also, that would be much appreciated. It helps the algorithm realise that this channel has got something of a message that's worth getting out there. And so that's it, friends. If you're not around tomorrow, I wish you a very happy Christmas, very happy Yule, and I hope everything will go wonderfully well for you in 2023. I intend to be here doing a live feed tomorrow. We haven't done a live stream for ages. I would love to do it, and I intend to be right here doing exactly that tomorrow. So do stay tuned for more rock and roll, so to speak. But who knows, wacky things keep happening all the time at the moment. Everything is changing, and Mercury retrograde is coming very close now. That starts on the 29th of December is when Mercury retrograde station happens, and that's when Mercury retrograde really gets going. But we are coming into the last kind of 4 or 5 days before Mercury retrograde now. And that very much means it's the pre-shadow, and things start happening, so look out for any issues around travel, around transport, around communication of any kind. And that's the only reason I'm thinking I might not be around to do the Christmas live feed thing tomorrow. But God willing, I will be here, so keep it here. Keep it on Merlin's Mountain. I hope some of the magic has rubbed off on you today, friends. Wishing you all the very best, and I'll see you again very soon. Love and light, blessings and peace.